a dentist, a model, and Miss Universe Bihar. Three titles, one incredible journey. Behind the crown, behind the confidence.
Hi, one iced hazelnut latte.
Is a story of passion, discipline, and purpose. This is Shambhavi Jha.
What is this honest sip?
Good morning, Shambhavi.
Good morning.
Welcome to Honest Sip at Workbrew. So, Shambhavi, I have seen you around at Workbrew a lot of times, and I know that you are a model, I know that you are an influencer, and I know that you are Miss Universe Bihar. But I think there is a lot more. So, I want to know from you today that what exactly do you do?
Okay, so I am a dentist, I'm an actor, I'm a model,
Wow.
I'm an influencer, and now I will be an entrepreneur as I'm launching my own startup.
Wow. So, Shambhavi, of course, on Instagram, your life is really glamorous, luxurious. I see, designer outfits and shoots, and it looks really good. But, off the camera, how does your day look like?
So when there's no work, I obviously, like a lot of people, sleep a lot. And as I said, I want to do a lot in this one life that I have. So I try to brainstorm more ideas of more startups about how I can help people more. So that's the majority part of the day whenever I'm free. So for that, I have to go to a really good, calm place. So I come to work, brew, get a nice coffee. I love iced hazelnut latte of this place. I get that coffee. I sit at a place. I brainstorm ideas. I work on myself. I talk to this developer that I'm working with. And yeah, that is the majority of the day. I would not lie by saying that I work out, I go for a run. No, I rest whenever I have a day off. So that's the day off. And away from the cameras, you could say that I'm a very, very talkative person. I mean, the
Okay.
only remark that I got from school was I think my parents' remarks were full. The whole diary was full, so much so that the teacher had to get my rough notebook. I would seem like a calm, very reserved person on my social media, but otherwise, I'm very fun, bubbly, keep on talking,
Right.
talking, blabbering my mouth like that. This venture that I've started is called the fourth trimester because there are usually 3 trimesters of pregnancy, but the fourth trimester is called the postpartum, which people often overlook. So that's why I started this startup with this name. And I always wanted to do something. I think I have a lot of potential to do a lot of things. And the only thing I hate, and that my mom hates, which she has instilled in me, is wasting your potential. So I want to do as much as I can and achieve as much as I can. So that's the life off the camera. I'm still thinking of ways to pursue more things. I mean, you could see me, trekking the Mount Everest or do DJ.
You
in the
love
coming
traveling?
years. Yes, I do. So when I was really young, like when I first got my teenagehood, I got bullied a lot in my school because I matured earlier. I started growing hair. I was looking ugly. I mean, not exactly ugly, you could say. I was so focused on sports at that time that I was so tan. I did not care if I was combing my hair or, looking good. But then I started getting bullied for it. And I realized that, you have to play the game of the people you compete with, of the people who hate you. So I played the game, I worked on myself, I had a glow up, and then suddenly people started treating me very differently. So that's also one thing I realized really early on in life, that people treat you the way you look. If you look
Right.
rich, if you look again beautiful in my eyes, but kind of average and conventional beauty standards. So that is also one thing I realized very early on in life. And I think you could say that you would not expect that I'm a really, really mischievous person in real life. You could ask my mom. I mean, I did not used to eat food that I did not like. I mean, she used to stuff food in my mouth and I used to keep it here in my cheeks, full, till 2 hours, 3 hours, until the food melted in my mouth, but I did not
2 hours,
gulp it.
3 hours. That's
Yes.
really long. Okay.
Yes. And when I did not get the things I wanted, I used to hold my breath and, become blue and become unconscious.
I've seen this in movies.
Yeah. So my mom was very sick of me. I mean, she was so sick of me that she did not decide to have a second child. So 6 years later, my sister was born when I became a little bit calmer and I became, a little bit obedient, that's when she decided that I might be a little bit lonely in life. So she decided to have my younger sister. She's in IIT Guwahati now. She's studying mechanical engineering. She's also a great woman. I mean, you could say that she's more mature than me and reserved than me, because I like to believe that I'm a more mischievous and bubbly and, talkative person. She's more of this reserved, not just about achieving goals. I like to think that it's one life that I have. I'll do all sorts of mischief, I'll do all sorts of things. So I used to sneak out of school, I used to sneak out of NCC camps because our NCC camp was in Ahmedabad. So there's really good food marketplace in Ahmedabad. I forgot the name. It's called something from K. Do you know that? So there's a really good food place near our NCC camp in Ahmedabad. So you used to sneak at around 2 a.m. We used to climb up the walls, jump from the walls, go eat and get back before 4 a.m. because our marching practice used to start at 5.
Could be Manik Chowk, I think.
Yeah, Manik Chowk. Yes. So Manik Chowk was so famous that we used to sneak out and climb the walls, go out there to eat and get back in 2 hours. So that was it. And I even snuck out in college. I snuck out to play Garba on Garba nights during Navratri. I got suspended from school. I got suspended from college. I mean, you could say
For
that
not studying or for being mischievous?
No, being mischievous.
But you were a
get
studious
good marks.
student.
Yes, I did get good marks. That was the only reason I was let go so easily, because
Okay.
they knew that I am also a good studious person, good academically. But given the mischief that I used to do, I mean, that is very. I mean, I don't want a child like me. You could say I'm so mischievous. No, not really soon. Someday, of course. If
But are you
somebody-
seeing someone?
I am talking to someone. You could say I'm not exactly seeing someone. So I think I have had a lot of standards now because of my parents. Because my dad was a feminist and back in those days that he cared so much about my mom that he brought her from Bihar to Gujarat just so she could live away from the in-laws, live a happy life, live her own personal life. He helped her pursue everything. So my mom has a master's in psychology, master's in PGDCA computer science, and she has an MSc for Hindi and
Wow.
Sanskrit, and she's currently teaching at Cygnus World School. So she has also achieved so much coming from where she was.
Now I
feel
know
like-
where all this is coming from, the roots of it.
Yeah, and my mom, I think I get this from my mom because my mom used to snuck out of her village to play cricket with boys in
Wow.
another village. So that was the reason my grandfather married her off early because she was so mischievous that time. So I think I get it from her.
But I'm sure your parents are not like that they'll get you married really early.
No. If anything, my mom's like, you'll not get married right now. Even if you're seeing or talking to someone, just keep talking. Don't do anything else. Because she's like, you have so much to do. Don't limit yourself. Don't go through the things that I did. Achieve as much as you can and then get married. So there's no pressure from my family at all.
So how did it all start? I mean, so many things together. From where? What is that point that it all started?
Okay, so when I was very young, when I was about 10, I almost slipped into coma due to menorrhagia, that is heavy blood loss. So I
Okay.
realized that life is unpredictable at a really young age. So I decided to pursue every dream that I had, every goal that I had. So yeah, that was the beginning of my journey.
You said you were 10.
Yes.
My God, and it would have been scary for you that, I mean, how did it all happen? How did you know about that?
So, due to such a lack of research on women's health, when I got my first period, it turned out to be dysmenorrhea and menorrhagia. And I went to almost 17 to 18 gynecologists, and they still could not diagnose it properly. And when it was too late, I had to go to a children's hospital because at that time I was not even able to stay conscious for like 10 minutes.
My
So
God.
when I went there, she diagnosed, I realized that if I were even 24 hours late, I would have been in coma.
Oh my God.
Yes.
You know, when medical science is so advanced,
Yes.
still you are saying that gynecologists would not able to diagnose, and also you think that you did not know about all this, and or your parents did not know about all these things.
So see, I think there's also a lack of awareness with everybody. My parents were quite well aware comparatively, but still because of no research, I mean most of the cadavers in medical research is male bodies. So we
Right.
don't have that much data on women's bodies.
Really?
And yeah, you would not even believe that there's more research funding for male baldness than there is for women's health.
What?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
something new for me.
So after all this happened, I realized that as a kid, you don't understand that it's not your fault that your parents are suffering or you are suffering. So at that time, I promised myself that I'm going to make my parents proud. I'm going to appear in newspapers. I'm going to achieve every goal I have. So I enrolled in NCC. I started studying Bachelor's of Dental Surgery. I pursued modeling, acting. So that was the beginning of it all.
No, so all of this started at the same time.
So when I was 10, this happened, and then I took a few years to recover, and then I started enrolling in sports because I was also a little bit. My self-esteem was low, that I don't have that much stamina or I'm not that healthy. So I enrolled in every sports that I could. Beat swimming, beat karate. I was a state level handball and throwball player. I was
Wow.
national karate champion. So, and then I enrolled into NCC because I also wanted to, experience that army life. What is it about?
So, what was your experience in NCC?
It was great. I enrolled it just to gain a little experience, but I did not know that. So, Republic Day camp is one of the toughest camps in NCC. You have to go through 6 months of shortlisting and continuous camps in order to get selected. And given the condition that I had, a lot of periods, a lot of issues, it was really tough for me. But I took it as a challenge that if I can overcome this, maybe I'll be able to live a normal life.
Right.
So I went through all the selections, this shortlisting, and I got selected for Republic Day camp. And there you have to have interviews with army officers, and you get selected to meet one good person. Either it's President of India, Prime Minister, or Army Chief. Luckily, my interviews went really good, and I got selected to meet everybody. The President of that time, the Narendra Modi sir.
You met Narendra Modi?
Yes.
That is really nice. So, I think that time, was he Chief Minister of...
No, that time he was the Prime Minister.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and that year, luckily, Barack Obama came for the Republic Day camp. So we
Okay.
get to see him in person as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, you met Narendra Modi, you met the President of India, you met Barack Obama as well, or you
No,
just...
no, that that is not possible at that time. And then I met the General of Army, General Darbir Singh Suhag of that time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, while all these things were going on, you also started your modeling career?
No. So what happened was because I come from a Bihari family, either it's UPSC or it's either being a doctor.
Okay.
So I had to come to a middle ground with my parents. So they gave me like a situation, like in every Bollywood film, you could say that if you pass with distinction, if you pass with a first class result every year of your college, then only you'll be allowed to pursue modeling or
Okay.
acting. And so I had to meet at the middle ground because I want my parents supporting me at the end of the day.
But they were not conservative, right?
No, not at all. They were conservative in the sense you need to pursue education first.
Right.
And I think that was good for me because I have a backup career, because this field, no matter how good it would be, it's still unpredictable.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was the start of why I pursued Bachelor's of Dental Surgery.
Okay, but then what was your first modeling project, and how did the modeling thing start for you? Because now I believe you started your education and you were already studying dental medicine, right?
Yeah.
And then with that you started being a model.
Yeah, so I had to groom myself. I knew that I cannot just go and show up and get selected for everything.
Right.
So I enrolled for Coco Berry with Alicia ma'am, Anjali
Okay,
Raut.
okay.
I got groomed there. And then I got the first modeling project as they sent in the group. There's a very famous makeup artist, Namrata Soni,
Right.
who does makeup for the Ambanis, for Sonam Kapoor. And so she was looking for models for a makeup academy. And I was like, okay, what's the harm? Let me just enroll. I don't have professional pictures. I don't have a good experience. Let me just enroll. And I got selected.
Nice.
So that was the first project that I had. And my first big break was when I did an ad for Realme.
Ad for Realme mobile.
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, those were the first two projects which started it all. I mean, that helped me gain the confidence that I can, pursue modeling. It may not be as hard as it seems.
So you took it as it came to you. But in school,
Yes.
did you know that you will be a model one day? Or in school, did you know that you are going to be Miss Universe Bihar? Or did you have that vision from the school? Or you just took it the way it came to you?
So when I was really young, I used to watch pageant on TVs, and when I saw Lara Datta, she spoke so elegantly, she spoke so gracefully, and she won so effortlessly. I was like, when I grow up, I want to be like her. And that time, I did not look the way that I do right now. I mean, I will show you the pictures, and you would not believe that it's me. So
As kids, everybody.
yeah. So I thought, I'm not gonna let this hamper me. I'm gonna work on myself. I'm gonna have a forceful glow up. I'm gonna do a work on my skin, my hair, my grooming skills, and I'm gonna pursue modeling. So I wanted to be Miss India since I was a kid, but I feel like that was a dream implanted in me just for the TV. It was not as hard as it should have been instilled. So that was not that much of a great dream, but I tried to pursue it, and I ended up being Miss Universe Bihar. And I also wanted to do something really great for Bihar. So I was eligible from Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh because I was born in Madhya Pradesh. But as I belong from Bihar, and there is such a stereotype of Biharis, so I wanted to eradicate that and audition from Bihar to be Miss Universe Bihar.
Right.
Yeah.
So, being in NCC, I was also there in NCC, so I know it's not modeling and NCC is two different things, right? It's in NCC you have to be tough. It's really rough over there. Camps and all are not that great. It's not glamorous, not fancy at all. And what you're doing right now, it's totally opposite. You know.
Yes.
So you've been into things that are opposite, different. So how the journey has been?
So, as I went through that situation very early on in life, when I was 10, I decided that we only get one life. I don't want to limit myself to one aspect, be it glamour, be it discipline, be it studies, be it helping people. I wanted to do as much as I can with this little time that I have. I mean, if I even think that I'll be able to live up to 100 years, I don't think I have enough time to do everything that I want to do.
So, this Miss Universe journey that also might not have been easy because I think as a girl child, a lot of people or everybody wants to be a model or wants to be Miss India but Miss Universe is even bigger than Miss India. So how was the journey? Do you think that it was really easy for you to get there?
So it was certainly not easy. Everyone is so smart and beautiful. I mean, it's not just limited to your beauty these days. And so are the contestants like that. They are all very smart, groomed, and they have really good speaking skills. So it was certainly not easy. I think I would not say that I was better than others. I think it was just the right timing for me at that time. I believe that everyone is deserving of the crown and everything, but it's just about your timing. Who is lucky at that point? So the destiny was on my side that time. I became Miss Universe Bihar. I tried my best for Miss Universe India. I made a lot of good friends. I got a lot of good mentors. And the journey, all in all, was amazing. I mean, I needed to experience this, getting ready in 15 minutes. So yeah, that was that. The journey was amazing. It was certainly not easy. But if you want to experience everything in life, you should definitely go for pageants.
Yeah, and I think it's always about the journey and not the
Yes.
destination. Right. So, okay, after this Miss Universe India, your modeling career was still going on really well. I think that boosted the modeling career, or
Yes. The title certainly helped because people know that you're groomed enough
Right.
and that you know what to do in front of the camera. So, yeah, that really helped a lot. I mean, that was one of the reasons I went to pageants because young girls don't know how to enter into modeling with a safe place. They can end up in really bad situations. So, pageants was a very good, safe option for me to enter into the modeling. And that certainly helped a lot get me a lot of gigs.
right.
Yeah.
So now content creation is totally a different thing, and again modeling is a different thing.
True.
People generally have this thing that it's all same, but I very well know that it is not same. Content creation is something wherein you need a lot of creativity. In modeling, it is. I mean, you know better than me what modeling is. But so how is the now that you are into content creation as well? So tell me something about that.
So I try to create content that could help people get inspired. That you should not limit yourself to one aspect. I mean, the most thing that I post, the majority is about feminism, and it's about doing everything that you want in your life. So yeah, because I wanted to use my platform to, propagate a good message, to influence people in a really good way.
Right.
Yeah. So that was the beginning of content creation.
So do you think that I hear a lot of people say that content creation these days has a lot of money. So was that the reason that you started content creation, or do you think that content creation has more money than modeling, or what was there on your mind?
So content creation just started by itself, you could say, because when I became Miss Universe Bihar, I suddenly gained a lot of following, and there were a lot of people following me, watching my stories, watching what I post. So I decided to use that time to influence people with all the values that I have. I mean,
Right.
if I were given that platform by God, that you have been given this platform, use it as you may. So
Right.
I decided to use it to propagate good messages. Yes, there is a good money in that, but that was not the reason I came into content creation.
But I see when in this young age, you're doing so much, right? So how do you plan to take all these things ahead in the right way?
Okay, so my parents raised me in such a way that when I get settled enough, I should help other people. You who are not as privileged as we are. So I'm starting a startup, launching a startup in July, which is the fourth trimester. Because as I said, there's a lot of of research on women's health, and I want that health segment to be accessible to everybody. And the most overlooked thing in India is postpartum.
Okay.
Postpartum depression, postpartum, anything the woman goes through. Because all the attention suddenly goes to the baby, suddenly
Right.
goes to starting the new family.
Right.
Nobody seems to get affected by what the mother is going through. And there have been a lot of cases where the mother attempts suicide
Oh my
because of the
God.
postpartum depression, or she gives up the baby, or she throws away the baby. And people think that the mother is being selfish, but that's just the thing that she's going through mentally. So I wanted to raise awareness for that and make it accessible for as many as women as I can.
Yeah, and I've seen that kids in India is really a big thing. I've seen that women go through a lot in that phase.
Yes.
They also have a pressure of, I mean, if they are not being mother, if they are not delivering babies, still they have pressure from family and all those things. So I think, of course, this whole thing needs a lot of attention.
Yes.
So that was Honest Sip at Work Brew, where behind every frame there is a real story.